with the lead. They're getting a little wobbly.
Johnson Chapman rebound. Robbie Ryan for three. She hits it, and we are tied.
Cherry's three.
It's good.
Johnny Walker matching up against control. His shot. Bruce score. They score. They tie the game up 2-2.
He drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse.
Wow.
5 seconds to go. Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls on. And Arizona State wins it. Edward pulls off. And buries the puck.
Daniels takes his shot for Kirby. And welcome into Friday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on the good old X, formerly known as the Twitter, the artist formerly known as Twitter, as you know. It is Friday, so glad you're all here, and we are getting rolling today. Yes, it is Friday, getting hotter here in Arizona, which means one thing, obviously. Well, school's out. Obviously, college is out. High school's out as too. Had graduations, all that good stuff. But it means it's getting hotter. And summer workouts coming for fall sports, which, again, first year in the Big 12. So now that school's over, we are I guess technically it's July 1st? I mean, yes, they're in, but as official members, July 1st, to be members of the Big 12. And again, it's just so weird to say. But, yes, the wound is still open, Pitchfork Lunchers. I'm just going to get that out of the way. The wound is open, the salt, no Pac-12. Looking at the football schedule, as awesome as it is, not seeing, I don't know, UCLA, USC, and I know once they went, obviously, Pac-12 North, South, that they that they skip teams from the North, but not seeing, an Oregon, a Washington, a Stanford, Cal, like Oregon State, Washington State. Yeah, it's still had all this time to get ready for it. Knew it was here, but it's very weird. And ASU women's volleyball, real quick, they are in Brazil. Not the beach indoor team. Coach Van Neal and the Lady Devils in Brazil right now. Centro Olímpico is the host. And they had their first game at 6 a.m., which was live on the IG. And they are live on Instagram now. So, very, very cool. So they are in Brazil. Going to get to that. But yeah, at Diablo00 on X, you guys know this. My IG, michael.caratanudo.5. And you can see the show live there every day. And guys, also the YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. You've missed a ton of interviews. And if you're here live, you'll see the one today. But go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and you can catch up, binge watch. As again, we're going to get wrapped up. I want to say the end, get everything in the end of next week for the summer. For the summer. So, but anyway, go to YouTube. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC 005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Because again, you'll have the summer to catch up on. A lot of stuff from the fall last year, which is going to hit us first. That talk to coaches, again, players had a future Pac-12 Coach of the Year on, not once but twice, and a few Pac-12 Coaches of the Year. So I'm just saying, subscribe to the YouTube channel, catch up on it. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC 005 on the good old YouTube, and subscribe away. As we get like I said, wrap up this year, but head into next season. And I'll have some stuff coming up. I'll keep you posted over the break. I mean, Pac-12 Media Day for football is a little early-ish, but I will be out there, so I will get as much stuff as I can from out there. It will be very, very awesome. That's coming up. But outside of that, again, just, it'll be awesome. And you can, pardon me, you can go get caught up and check it out. So, that is what you can do. Again, go to YouTube and then search for my channel, but Michael Caratanudo but the channels, it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC 005 on the good old YouTube. So I know I mentioned obviously the early TV times for football, not early, not that they're early, but the early season. Games. So first 2 weeks, they are at home. They're hosting Wyoming at 7:30 Arizona time, August 31st kickoff. And that's going to be on Fox Sports 1. Then week 2, September 7th, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. Mississippi State will be in Mountain America Stadium, home of the Sun Devils. And then week 3 at Texas State, which is in San Marcos, 6:30 Central Time. It is a 4:30 kickoff here, though, Thursday, September 12th. Just remember, that's also on ESPN. So weeks 2 and 3 on ESPN. And then October 11th, a 7:30 game here. It's a home game as the Utes and Coach Whittingham come rolling into town. That is a 7:30 p.m. game, also on ESPN. So that has what has been listed. So we can go from there. But so yes, but nothing for, at Texas Tech yet, or home against Kansas, and then they're at Cincinnati, and then at Oklahoma State, and then they have UCF at Kansas State, BYU, and then at Arizona for that. Yeah, so we're going to take a very quick break. But when I get back, a wonderful friend of the program, a man that just celebrated his 29th birthday. We go from there. A man that just celebrated his 29th birthday will be joining me, but we'll step aside real quick. And assistant head coach, special teams coordinator, and all around great guy, fired up coach. Love seeing him at practice. But Charlie Ragle will join us. We'll be right back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Got to get him in there working with the defensive line. He does that too. And like I've always said to him for years, you don't have to yell and be rah-rah to get somebody fired up. But if you can't play for this man, you can't play for anybody. Coach, how's it going, man? Thanks for jumping in again. I appreciate it.
You got it. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. So did you enjoy the birthday festivities yesterday, the 29, like I always like to say?
29 did me just right. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. No, that's what, you know what? I always go by this. My grandpa used to say this for all the time. When people say, "Oh, I'm old," this and that, he goes, "Age is a state of mind. If you're going to act old, you're going to be old. But if you're living life, it's just nothing but a number."
That's right. That's exactly right. It's all a mindset and everything you do, and age is no different. So, turned a little older than 29, but I certainly still feel 29 in my mind, and I'm sure my wife would tell you. Sometimes act younger than that.
I was going to say, yes, as guys, we can always be credited for that. Definitely acted a little bit younger. But hey, Coach, I was talking about that. I know some of the games, obviously, early season schedule came out week 1. Fox Sports 1. I know okay, we'll get to that in a second. But Fox Sports 1 with Wyoming, then ESPN back-to-back weeks with Mississippi State, and then into Texas State. Yeah, Texas State. But I mean, when you see, obviously, I know, getting away is good. You guys do so much prep, and obviously everything from after spring ball rolling into, more of recruiting. And I talked about it on the show, the success you guys had. But when you start seeing that schedule, how much more adrenaline starts pumping, and you get excited for it?
Well, I think the excitement becomes real because when they start attaching times to the games, that they're getting closer, and so I think that it becomes more of a reality, right? When you look at the schedule, maybe in January or February, you're like, man, that seems like so far away. But like now that they put times on the early games, like I said, it's closer, right? It's almost here, and obviously, we're excited to get back out on the field and add to the improvement for year 2.
And when it's funny because we always talked about, and I know it was a hot topic, obviously, in the conference of the Pac-12, and when they did the whole Pac-12 after dark, and it's a lot of teams, it's like whoever's ever playing, it's like nobody on the East Coast is staying up till the end of those games, because if it's midnight here, it's either 2 or 3 a.m. there. But when you see some of these games again starting at 7:30 here, which isn't bad, but the other side to that, and a lot of my friends, and I got messages when they said I was going to have you on. You guys, obviously, players and coaches, practice in the morning, but you have your games at a certain time. But now, when you take that trip to UCF or West Virginia or Kansas, sometimes those games here kick off at noon, noon Eastern time, but it's 9 a.m. here. What's the I guess the trick in getting ready for something like that? Because it is body clocks and, college students, obviously classes, practice classes. It's a little different. What's the challenge in that?
Well, I think, the one thing, when you played the early games, and we had a couple of early morning contests this past season. I know we played out at Cal. I think kickoff was 11:30 or noon. And I know we had another somewhere we played in, I think it was Utah. We played an early game as well. But these guys are up early in the morning, and through the course of the week, we're getting that work, in the earlier morning, so to speak. I think the key, though, when you travel, eventually when we got to go back and play a West Virginia or, this year we're going to go play Cincinnati. I think, taking a look at potentially, leaving even a day earlier, depending on what time the game is, so that you can get your body in line with, your biological clock in alignment with the time. And so right. I think, having that ability to get in there 2 days in advance and get on that kind of schedule, I think certainly helps the players. And I know we've done that at some other places that I've been at as well and been highly successful with that model. So I think that's something that we anticipate probably doing here as well.
Yeah, because for college, and again, I don't use this as an excuse, because whether you're coming from, east to west, west to east, to me, it doesn't matter. It's different. I never want to hear about it in the pros because, again, that's their job. When people say, oh, they go from, west to east, it's so tough. I'm like, they could leave 2 days early. They could leave a day before. I know coaches have a million different ways they want to handle it. But to your point, are you saying almost for those trips, it's better to leave 2 days early to get adjusted to the clock if you're going, switching 2 time zones, basically?
I think so. I think if you're changing 2 time zones and you're going to play a game, that's let's just say a noon kickoff local standard time wherever you're at, right? Like if we're Cincinnati, and obviously we don't have the time for that game yet, but that's I think they're on East Coast time, so we even 3 hours difference, right? So you're playing that game at like noontime. That's a 9 a.m. kickoff for us. Now, the good news is like I said, we practice during that time in the morning, so that's not going to be anything new to the players. But getting in and getting on that clock and that rhythm in terms of the timing of just everything you do over the course of the day, I think it's better to give yourself a 48-hour reprieve to get in the flow of things and ready to play some football. Right.
And so, like I said, after spring ball, you guys obviously, keep hitting it hard. How'd the recruiting trail look like? It went pretty well, but how did it go out there for you?
It went well. Things are going good, and I think that we've got a lot of good traction going on in the program, and these guys. We've had some very successful official visits, and we've got some more, going on this weekend, but as far as getting out on the road, I spent a lot of time here locally, and really trying to put an emphasis in building the relationships back with the Arizona high school coaches. And I'm not talking about myself. Obviously, I've been recruiting this place for a long, long time at multiple different universities. So my relationships are strong, but there's some work there to be done with building it back from the Arizona State vantage point, and I spent a lot of time this spring trying to do just that.
That's all. And yeah, and coach, I mean, with this spring, now that you guys have, like I said, I know been recruiting, but had a chance to breathe it in. What was your overall thoughts when you went back and looked at spring ball? How do you feel the defense on your side that you're working with D-line and the special teams grew in the spring?
Well, I think we're better. Now that has to translate. For me to say that, that's easy for me to say that as a coach. Here in the end of May, we've got to be able to show those tangible results in wins in the fall, right? So that's what all the fans care about and want is more victories, and understandably so. So, we have to do just that. But, I do feel like we're a deeper football team, and we are making progress and building the program. And so overall, I feel a lot better about where we're headed.
And speaking of where you're headed, I was lucky enough to catch up with CJ Fight after spring practice, and he said that you're his guy. And so I asked him, like, my next question is, you secured that punt on the battles you beat. So I go, might we see a scenario where you're back there receiving punts? And he kind of smiled and said he might want to talk to you about that. How do you feel about CJ catching punts for you, Coach?
CJ's my guy. There's no doubt about that. He is a tremendous young man and a tremendous football player. He's just unbelievable person. His parents did a fabulous job in raising him, and he's just such a really good young man. I love being able to work with him and coach him. But I don't know that we'll be sending him back there to field any punts in any time in the near future.
Yeah, he said he wanted to focus on what he needed to do, but he said if you needed him, he's confident he could do it.
He's got my back. If we need him, he can help us out. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, because I know Clayton Smith wants to play some receiver too, so I know you have to deal with those headaches too, right?
Clayton wants to play everywhere, man. That's what he does.
Well, yeah, you recruit football players. I know you want that. And Coach, I bring this up because obviously I know you probably saw Bill Walton passed away on Monday, and it's just I saw so many people reached out and just kind of like, it's the way he lived his life. And one of my friends said, as much as I watch those hoops game, and he constantly, the way he said the Conference of Champions, and obviously his life in the Pac-12, just your kind of thoughts on the life he led, the broadcaster he was, and I mean just kind of any interaction that maybe you had with him, or just from afar, what you thought of Bill Walton.
Well, I think when you look at him, right, he probably embodied the Pac-12 and represented the Pac-12 as good or better than anybody there was. And I think that, when you watch his life and you study his life and all the things that he did, and as talented as he was, and, overcame a ton of operations and surgeries, right, to come back to play. I just think his example of the life he lived embodies what it's all about. Just pursuing life with the passion that was really unmatched, right? And his love for not only for life but for the Pac-12 conference. It's sad, obviously, losing someone of that caliber. But again, I just think a tremendous reflection of a life well lived, and certainly many examples that you can take from his life that certainly can help everybody.
Yeah, when you say passion, I mean, like you said, about the Pac-12, about basketball, but especially about life. And one of the funny things, and I mean, he when the Final Four was here in 2017, he was doing the live radio hit, and he actually said where they'd be for dinner afterwards, and Jim Gray was by it, and Bill Walton gave his phone number out on the air, Coach.
That does not surprise me. I don't know that in this day and age you can do that anymore, but you know, and if anybody could get away with it, it's certainly him.
Absolutely. And then, Coach, I mean, now, like I said, I know you're still, like you said, you still have some official visits that players that are coming in. But then after that, I know obviously players can do the workouts and you guys are separate from it. But what does the summer look like for you guys as coaches?
Well, we've got, you know, these next couple of weeks, we'll be working with our players a little bit. We are able to do some things with them per the NCAA rules a couple times a week. And then we are also, we will be out, you know, on the recruiting world, working these camps over the next 2 weeks. We'll have several camps here on our campus, and then we will travel to some different destinations, work some camps as well, and then about the middle of June, we will start our vacation and get some downtime, you know, before we break this thing up full speed at the end of July.
Oh, well, like I said, it's I know the camps are a lot. Obviously, the camps, the 7-on-7s and everything. I mean, it truly is year round. So I know you look forward to that vacation, and the fam does. So, hey, thanks for jumping on. You know, I greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to – are you going to be out at Pac-12 Media Day in July?
I don't think I will, but I'm sure I will catch you this summer, and we will have a nice cold one and celebrate that vacation.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Enjoy your vacation for as much as you can. But hey, Coach, honestly, you know, I appreciate it. Glad you had a great birthday yesterday. Enjoy the rest of recruiting, and we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, we will. I always appreciate you. And like I said, I appreciate the call yesterday. Take care, and I'll talk to you. Go Devils.
Thanks, Coach. That's awesome. Charlie Ragle right there, special teams, assistant head coach, special teams coordinator, working with the D-line. Hey, CJ, I tried for you. So we'll see. Maybe, you know, you are a football player, you are an athlete, what you do on the line, but coach, no, but you heard him right there. I mean, again, the times, the traveling, again, wanting to get his thoughts about somebody like Bill Walton, again, different sport, covered a different sport, but yeah, so you heard it there. I mean, they got, again, official visits coming in, and as per NCAA, I would never ask him. I know better anyway, because he can't answer anyway, but they can't talk about certain players, any player really, but day and age, social media, this stuff, day and age, they can put it out there. Oh, I got, you know, talked with this coach. I've received an official offer. Again, it's cool. I get it. And with everything that's went on, don't need to make it another thumbprint right there. So, but yeah, they got that coming up. They got camps, like he said. I'm going to reach out, see when those are. And yeah, just again, 7-on-7 going on at ASU too. During this, I mean, this is a time high school wise, 7-on-7, and not just locally. I mean, they are all over, to say the least. But yeah, you know, I put that up. You see, and then you see. Look at that. Oh, speaking of CJ, look at that right there.
Go!
There's CJ.
Here's that penny. Go!
But
Get out. Roll out.
Yeah.
What?
Coach Bennett working right there. But yeah, just from spring ball, obviously. Yeah, just and like he said, you know, it's just tough to say you're not better, but making sure they line doing their thing. See the man that likes to snakes Clayton Smith, which most of his teammates stay away from. But no, you see Coach Ragle out there again. Always love when he jumps on. But yeah, just talking about the scheduling, getting real and excited. And it's like that adrenaline before, not to get too overhyped, which again, sometimes tough to do. So, you got the adrenaline and you come down, drains a little bit of your energy. But yeah, so we'll see it. Cause like I said, I mean, those times are released, and he brought that point up too. They're at Texas Tech September 21st. And then, October 5th, you're at Kansas. I mean, time changes, that first Sunday of November. So that game at Kansas State actually will be the tough. So yeah, Cincinnati, that'll be a 3-hour difference at Cincinnati. At Oklahoma State, that's a 2-hour difference. They're home for UCF at Kansas State, which that I think is their central time. So that'll be an hour difference on November 16th, and then 23rd home for BYU, and then playing that school down south, going to that place to take on that team. But nonetheless, so yeah, we'll see. But 7:30 p.m. weeks 1 and 2 at Mountain America Stadium, Sun Devil Stadium, Wyoming and Mississippi State. Then at Texas State, 4:30 local time kickoff. That's a Thursday game. 4:30 kickoff on ESPN. So yeah, FS1 week 1, ESPN week 2 and 3, and then week 7, they have October 11th, 7:30. Utah's here, ESPN. So that is where they are at. But yeah, so I'm going to take a quick break, let you digest that, and when we get back, a little more news and notes, some men's golf news, another honor for another men's golf player, I should say. So yeah, got that. Obviously, volleyball down in Brazil. But yeah, step aside real quick and wrap up, obviously, what Coach Ragle said, but more coming up here on Pitchfork Lunch. And we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter, also my IG, michael.caratino.5, and the YouTube, guys. You can see my show live on YouTube every day. But if not, subscribe to the channel. Go back, check it out. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. But a big shout out to Coach Ragle, assistant head coach for the Sun Devils special teams coordinator as well. And again, out on the recruiting trail, like he said, spending most of his time here locally. And and going from there. But yeah, I mean, like you talked about, obviously, recruiting trail's big. These camps are big. Like I said, Pac-12 Media Day is in Las Vegas, but it's July 11th and 12th. So, but yeah, Big 12 doing it there. So very kind of them to make it easier for the newcomers. No, but anyway, yeah. So that is what's coming up. But yeah, I mean, like he was saying, you talk about the traveling and the schedule and looking at that. It's but they're not at West Virginia, this year, but at Cincinnati, again, 3-hour difference. And then but UCF it would be the same thing. So yeah. But and that's interesting too. But like you said, spring getting ready, and I didn't realize they actually. That's one thing that probably changed. Oh, man, but there's like you said, there's some work they can do with the players, and again, a lot, some of it, film. But these guys will be here. A lot of the guys that weren't here early for spring ball will be here next month usually, and they're doing their workouts, doing their thing. Getting ramped up for the season. And then, July rolls around and we had, Coach Dillingham, we had him on. So we'll look for the dates for Camp T, which again, just love it. Absolutely love it up there. But yeah, that's what they have going on. So we shall definitely go from there. But it is one of the things where going up to Camp T, again, very, 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 very awesome. But yes, so I move forward. But Wenyi Ding earns first team All-American. Yeah. Yep. And that happened, I want to say it came out yesterday. I saw it yesterday after the show. So, freshman Wenyi Ding, who earned Pac-12 Freshman of the Year and Player of the Year, has earned a first-team Ping All-America honors as announced by the GCA in partnership with Golf Channel. Ding and Auburn's Jackson Koivun, were the only freshman on the 11-man team, and he is just the fifth Sun Devil to earn first-team All-American in the past 17 seasons. He joins Preston Summerhays in 2023, Chun and Yu in 2019, John Rahm in 2015 and 16, and Max Rotluff in 2015. He is the first Sun Devil freshman to earn first-team honors since Alejandro Canizares in 2003. So yeah, and Ding was also the first Sun Devil to win. And I know I mentioned this when he did it, but Pac-12 Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year, and finished the year ranked third by scoreboard / clipped with a 69.56 stroke average. He notched 6 top 10 and 4 top 5 finishes in 8 tournaments, including a ridiculous victory at the Amur Ari Invitational in just his second event. He posted a 27 under 189, he was the first collegiate golfer to break 190 and helped ASU to a trio of tournament titles this spring, including its first Pac-12 championship since 2008, as you guys know here on Pitchfork Lunch. He posted 12 rounds in the 60s, and 16 of his 25 rounds were at par or better. The Ping first-team All-Americans, along with Wen Yiding of Arizona State. There was Luke Clanton of Florida State, Matt's Eag of East Tennessee State, E.G., pardon me, of East Tennessee State, Nick Gabrielsick of North Florida, Ben James of Virginia, Jackson Koivan of Auburn that I mentioned, who's the other freshman, Christo Lamperecht of Georgia Tech, Gordon Sargent of Vanderbilt, Hiroshi Tai of Georgia Tech, Michael Thorbjornsen of Stanford, and Brendan Valdez of Auburn. So Auburn with 2 on that list. And he is under Coach Thurman, he is the 9th Sun Devil to earn All-American honors. All-American honors 13 times in Matt Thurman's 8th season, and the 3rd to earn first-team honors in that span, joining Preston Summerhays in 2023 and Chun Ayu, who said in 2019. And if you look at the list of Arizona State men's golf first-team All-Americans, I mean, I got to rip through this because, yeah, it is crazy. So Wen Yiding in 2024, Preston Summerhays in 2023, Chun Ayu in 2019, John Rahm in 2016, John Rahm and Max Rotleff in 2015, Nicholas Lemke in 2007, Alejandro Canizares in 2006, and in 2003. Matt Jones in 2001, Paul Casey, no surprise, in 2000, 1997, Chris Harnell and Scott Johnson, 1994, Todd Dempsey. Well, in 94 and 93, Todd Dempsey, and then 89, 90, 91, 92, Phil Mickelson. Weird, huh? Yeah. Phil Mickelson was first-team All-American in 89, 90, 91, and 92. So all 4 years. Then 87 and 88, Billy Mayfair. In 83, Jim Carter. In 79, Scott Watkins. In 77, Lee Miklas. In 72, Howard Twitty. In 70, Howard Twitty. In 1968, Mike Morley. And in 1966, George Boutel. So, yes. Yeah. So, a hell of a list there for first-team All-Americans. And by the way, here's some fun trivia knowledge for you. So Wen Yiding is the 3rd men's golfer to sweep Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, or Pac-12 Player of the Year, and Freshman of the Year awards in the same season, joining who? UCLA's Patrick Cantlay in 2011, and USC's Jamie Lovemark in 2007. So yes, just done 3 times in this phenomenal conference. And Ding joins, again, just a phenomenal list of Sun Devils to win Pac-12 Men's Golfer of the Year. He did it obviously this year in 2024. Lemke did it in 2007. He was a co-winner with USC's Jamie Lovemark. And then, like I said, Alejandro Canizares was in 2006 was a co-winner with Stanford's Rob Grube. But Canizares won it in 2005. And then Jeff Quinney in 2001 was a co-winner with Arizona's Ricky Barnes. Paul Casey in 2000, Chris Hanel in 1997, Todd Dempsey in 94, Phil Mickelson in 90, 91, and 92, Billy Mayfair in 87, Dan Forsman in 81, co-winner with USC's Ron Comons. And then Scott Watkins in 79, co-winner with UCLA's Corey Pavin. Yeah, so some names that you've heard. But yeah, just again, absolutely phenomenal. Congrats to Wenyi Ding, this young man. And hopefully we get to see him more next year. That's that's an added bonus. So love to see again how much he can grow in his game. Just man, and hit the most insane shot during the Pac-12 tournament. Well, that I got to see live, and there were some insane shots. But yeah, it's congrats to Wenyi Ding, man. That's just again, forks up to you, Wenyi Ding. Absolutely awesome. Being a first team All-American. I mean, it's just, again, a hell of an accomplishment. And I mentioned to you what he did. And Coach Thurman, the way he has his team going, again, we got to catch up with him after the Pac-12 championship, in which they brought home before regionals. Again, they made a heck of a run. But, again, just a phenomenal season, phenomenal program. Absolutely love what Coach Thurman is doing. And when you have players like Wenyi Ding and as freshmen, and then you have – the upperclassmen he did in, Riggs Johnson, Preston Summerhays. It's one of those things where it is absolutely, absolutely awesome. So congrats to Wenyi Ding again on that being well, and for water polo, women's water polo, Lucia Pedovari and Millie Quinn collect All-American nods. Again, more postseason awards. The Collegiate Water Polo Association, when they announced their 2024 ACWPC All-American teams and highlighted the teams, and highlighting the teams are Sun Devils, like I said, Lucia Pedovari, who made second team, and sophomore Millie Quinn, who earned honorable mention. That just shows you the talent, because again, we've talked about what Pedovari did this year. Obviously, the goals, the assists, leading the team in goals. I mean, over 125. Which he finished with. I want to say 125. 122. My apologies. Giving her three more. 122 playing in all 31 games and 29 assists. So 151 points to lead the team this year. And she made, like I said, second team, which is just crazy to me. But yeah, and then Millie Quinn, like I said, got honorable mention, but the pair of attackers are the first duo in Sun Devil history to each record 100-plus points. Yes, because Millie Quinn had over 100 points as well. In a season after leading Sun Devil water polo to a 23-8 record, the second most wins in program history. The selections were picked by the Association of Collegiate Water Polo Coaches, which is the ACWPC. And are selected based on nominations and voting by the head coaches of each varsity program. Pedovari caps off her Sun Devil career by earning her second All-American recognition, her first coming her freshman season in 2021, being named honorable mention. This past season, she became the first Sun Devil to win MPSF Player of the Year, which we talked about, phenomenal. And the second to win a major conference award. Her senior season, like I said, she did. She rewrote the record books, kids. She posted an MPSF and Sun Devil record with 122 goals, along with 29 assists, and an ASU record of 151 points. She scored in 30 of 31 games and posted hat tricks in 25 of 31 games this year. In addition, she broke the ASU record with the most goals in a career with 252 and broke the MPSF and ASU record for most goals in a game with 10 against Mount St. Mary's on March 1st. Her shooting percentage of the best was one of the best on the team, an outstanding 59.8%. In 2024, this year, she was named MPSF Player of the Week 3 times, one of 2 players in the conference to win the weekly honor on 3 separate occasions, and ranked second in Sun Devil history with 331 career points. Quinn, who was an honorable mention after arriving in Tempe as a sophomore and coming from New Zealand, she posted career highs in all offensive categories with 73 goals and 42 assists for 115 points. Her 73 goals ranked tied for 5th in program history with Vanda Bosca, and her 115 points are the 4th most in a season in ASU history. And it's her second career honor after earning a spot on the MPSF All-Second team for the Sun Devils. She had 21 multi-goal games and tallied 16 hat tricks on the year. Defensively, she led the team with 35 steals and was third on the team with 14 field blocks. To start the year, she netted hat tricks in the first 5 games and made game-winning last second goal to secure a top 10 victory against number 9 UC San Diego at the Triton Invitational. So yeah, again, that is just mad ups to them, Millie Quinn and Lucia Pedovari, as again, they just absolutely rocked it. So again, like I told you yesterday, more awards. And Wenyi Ding, again, first team All-American, Pac-12 player and freshman of the year. Track, by the way, track and field. are June 5th through 8th. In Oregon, in Eugene. Yeah, June 5th through 8th. So, yes, next week they are coming up. And just a reminder, because I know I told you ASU had qualified. So 7 individuals, 1 relay, 9 events. But Adriana Tatum is in for ASU. Is in the 100 and 200. Brandon Lloyd, no surprise, in the shot put. Alexandria Johnson in the long jump. Justin Robinson in the 400. Dayton Carlson in the 800. Inez Lopez in the discus. Syra Prince in the 400-meter hurdles. Jaden Davis in the Jaden Davis, Caleb Simpson, Nicholas Ramy, and Gamali Felix. In the 4x400-meter relay. I mean, Justin Robinson ran a 45.81 in the first round, placing within the top 3 in his heat and qualifying for Friday's 400 quarterfinals. So yeah, they are headed to Eugene June 5th through 8th. That is next week. More on that to come next week. But yes, it is a like I said, bittersweet. So bittersweet. Like I said, talking Big 12 with Coach Ragle. Wasn't going to go down the rabbit hole again of no more Pac-12, but like I said, just weird not seeing, when are they taking on the Bruins, or when are the Trojans, coming here? Are we going there? Like, it's just actually would have been going to USC this year, and UCLA would have been coming here. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, yeah. So, but hey, still got, because when you look at, because they're not playing Colorado this year, are they? Yeah. So, I mean, Colorado's going to the Big 12, but ASU is not playing Colorado. I mean, obviously you can because of the expansion of the conference. So, Utah and Arizona, who they played last year, obviously. And, Oklahoma State, too. It's 3 years in a row they've played Oklahoma State, which I'm going to go down and say is the first time in both the schools' histories they've played 3 years in a row. I'll look that up, but I'm guaranteeing you they've never played 3 years in a row. But yeah, so at Cincinnati, like I said, I mean, they opened first 2 at home, and then at Texas State, at Texas Tech, and then an open week, and then home for Kansas, home for Utah, and then they hit the road at Cincinnati, have an open week after that, then at Oklahoma State, UCF is here, and then at Kansas State, BYU is here, and then at Arizona. So, I mean, that's not too bad. You think travel-wise, that is definitely not too bad, but we'll get into more of that tomorrow. But again, big ups, big thank you to Charlie Ragle, Sun Devil football's assistant head coach and special teams coordinator, for jumping on again, as he's always been so gracious with his time to come on the show, talk all things Sun Devil football. Got a little bit of Bill Walton in there too as well, because being a coach, player like that, and yeah, talked about it again yesterday. Just rest in eternal peace, Bill Walton, man. You are now in the Conference of Champions up above, and I always loved, and again, a lot of people say it, but thank you for your life, you would say, but thank you for your life, Bill Walton. And again, wanting to make people smile and happy, and could definitely entertain, but the love that you had for life, for basketball, for the Pac-12, yes, always eternally grateful. So, hey, have a great weekend. Again, you can catch up. Oh, you can check out, obviously, baseball regionals going on. Talk to you about that. The team down south, Oregon State, all in the regionals. So you can go from there. Obviously, softball wise, UCLA and Stanford at the Women's College World Series. Check that out too. But yes, have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you on Monday. And yeah, and you always get a little extra on Friday. But again, big ups to Coach Ragle for coming on. Appreciate that. If you missed it, again, follow me at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter, my Instagram, michael.caratuno.5, or yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you saw the interview, okay. Even if you watch the show, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe. So yes, that is, and you'll get caught up on everything. And you can see the interview with Coach Ragle today, as he was again out and about, but making it happen. So have a great, safe weekend. I will see you on Monday. And like I said, it's Friday. You always get a little bit extra. But yes, it is a Sun Devil State. Sparky rules. That mascot down there doesn't. So as always, have a great weekend and forks up.
I'm from Arizona, Jerry. I broke Arizona records.
Rod.
I went to Arizona State.
Rod.
I'm a Sun Devil, man.
Justin Chapman rebound. Robbie Ryan for three. She hits it, and we are tied.
Cherry's three.
Johnny Walker. Matching up against control. His shot. Bruce Moore, they score. They tie the game up 2-2.
Some drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse.
Wow.